woke. I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob out there.
It looks like Chuck's taking the skin boat to Tuna Town.
Do you wanna take a life? Do you wanna cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
Now, what you've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
Here's to the Army and Navy and the battles they have won. Here's to America's colors, the colors that never run.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Hello. What's up, everybody? It's Monday. Feels like I haven't seen you for 8 hours. Maybe a little less. Maybe a little more. I don't know. I'm not good at math. And X-Ray Girl, she's in the back. She's in backstage right now. Not doing math. What's up, Eric K. the Mod? Psychotic Mongoose. Seed. Hello there. Razor Burn. RT Brian. B-Chain 315. Lord Castle Hale. I'm waiting for I'm actually caught up on the chat, so I'm waiting for him to pop up. Oh no, I've got a bunch popped up. Buffalo Blue Bear, Rank the Comedy, Page One, Hail Page One, Lord Thoth, Red Mage. Hey, what's up, brother? Cougar. We're gonna talk about cougars. Well, we are, but I don't know. Like, I'm using the term cougar very loosely. Ashimoria, the original Aberzombie, Sons and Shadowcast, the Tankella, Andre Suzy, 100 yards over there, White Chocolate, Doc Possum, Phase and train. Well, what is this word? Phase and tranquit. Happy Monday. Lord Thoth again. Hello. Welcome to the show, everybody. Lanterns. Saw it last night. With these shows, it usually takes time. If you've watched enough of these, which I'm sure most of you have, and then probably gave up because you're smart, but it's our job and we love it. Well, okay, I'll say I love it. I don't want to speak for, but I'm not too sure how many people love their jobs anymore. But that's mostly in politics, though, not in entertainment. And it's hard to when you get the Watchmen series again, and it became very evident that this is just HBO's Watchmen again with lanterns. Very evident. In a boring, an incredibly boring episode, but we'll get to it. I wish Mahler and Az were here so I could talk to him about it right now. Jesus. Az did a video. Go check it out. It's funny as hell. He's got Mr. Porkchop in the background, like drilling and offering him food. It's like Az gives no. Az, bring back the whiteboard, dude. Do it. Bring back the whiteboard. What's up, Hertz Donut? So yeah, it was a fucking boring episode, occasionally interrupted with some of the most cringe dialogue you could possibly imagine. X-Ray Girl, if you could find somebody on Twitter, I'm sure has the clip, the eccentric white privilege clip. And how's your white man clip? Yes, these are lines uttered, not uttered, not uttered. I saw somebody bring up Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is a good comic book writer. He was horrible in Hollywood, utterly terrible in Hollywood. Good comic book writer. Jeff Loeb, good comic book writer. Not so good in Hollywood. He did more good stuff than Jeff Johns. Jeff Loeb was involved with what? Heroes. And he was running Netflix Marvel for a bit. So he had a little hand in Daredevil, but he also made the Inhumans, which I'll be real, I'd rather watch the Inhumans than Lanterns. You know, the Inhumans were, due to budget constraints, they had to shave Medusa's head. And this is worse. Lanterns is worse. All these people are like, this might be Atrocitus or the Red Lanterns, and this is a Manhunter. And it's just like an old dude playing a Red Lantern, an old woman playing a Manhunter, an old woman playing a Guardian, an old man that we like. Everybody likes Kyle Chandler. Nobody doesn't like Kyle Chandler. And he'd be good Hal Jordan, but he's like a retard. And Aaron Pierre, they're making me not like Jon Stewart, which sucks because I like Jon Stewart. Now, did they make and again, forgive me, not the biggest Green Lantern fan. Did they make Jon Stewart a little OP, or let's say around the 2018s when all the diverse characters were becoming OP to the point where Comics Explained put it up on Twitter last night that he doesn't need a ring anymore because he's so spectacular. With one of the things that made the Green Lanterns so they weren't so OP is they had to recharge their ring. Remember when Spawn had a clock ticking down? I love that. And I don't think he ever recovered from the clock. That's just me. It puts a restriction on their powers, so they're not so. He blew out his ring. Well, yeah, maybe. Okay, so the episode is boring as fuck. Like nothing happens. So Hal Jordan dies at the end of the first episode. We're back in 2016 for the entirety of this episode. And Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan are doing a little training. He's going to teach him how to fly. Jon Stewart's like, we need to get on this case. There's murders, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, unclench, Junior. We're going to show you how to fly. But instead of flying, he manifests a bird. His construct is a bird, which is a living thing now. And he did it with a ring that's low on power. And it stayed alive. And this is just this magnificent thing. Another thing is Hal Jordan, being the retard that he is, took off. Oh, no. When he went to go pick up Junior, who he calls Junior, which is that's what I call my kid. So it's starting to bug me. And he took off without his lantern. He just took off without his lantern thinking, and he never went back and got it. A guy who flies across fucking a galaxy can't go back to Coast City to go grab his lantern real quick and he'd be back in a flash. Right? Nope. So he manifests a bird. And then Hal Jordan hands him some plane tickets, says, go fly back and get my lantern. So he basically does that to get rid of him. So he has very little to no power left in the ring, and he's going to start doing some really stupid shit. And we'll get into that stupid shit. But here is I mean, I'm kind of thankful for this because it broke the monotony. And we're going to, hang on. Hang on, X-Ray Girl. There. Because this bad boy is going to have to get clipped out. All right. Hit play.
White men have the privilege of being eccentric. White men with money, they can do whatever the fuck they want. Play cowboy.
Pause, X-Ray Girl. So, Jon Stewart said, I wouldn't have fucked you if I knew you were married. And she's all, I'm glad you didn't know. And I'm just looking at that face going, listen, for the rest of humanity with the beer goggles on, absolutely. Don't chat. Don't. Absolutely. Okay. I've been in the real world. Absolutely. So many would. Listen, I'm a happily married man, but so many would. Just stop. Don't say you wouldn't. It's okay. But this is Aaron Pierre. I mean, I'm not even sure he likes women, to be honest with you. She might not be playing for his team for all I know. It's Hollywood, baby. But he's probably a straight dude. And for Aaron Pierre, no. Aaron Pierre's beer goggles would be a 10. Okay. So we have to suspend our disbelief for that bullshit. But they're talking about the husband. And she's all, what do you think of a husband? He's all, I think he's weird. I think he's really weird. And she says what she just said there. That's the context leading up to the eccentric white privilege. And that couples on, you put that with what they said last week when Jon Stewart was on the phone with his dad, and his dad said, well, they can have temper tantrums, we can't. So when I first heard that, I thought, oh, they must be talking about superheroes. No, they were talking about white people. Now, I just want to remind you who writes this show. A couple of white dudes. A couple of elitist, progressive white dudes. And so it taking place in 2016 is appropriate because it feels very 2016. I mean, it's dated. It's dated for like even now. And now we understand why Damon Lindelof hasn't been getting a shit ton of work lately. Because he sucks. I'll have to look up. Did Watchmen win awards? I think it did. HBO's Watchmen win Emmys or nominated? Yes, HBO's Watchmen was the most awarded show at the 72nd Primetime Emmy Awards in 2020. Oh, remember 2020, everybody? What a great, we all want to forget 2020. Fuck 2020. The series won a total of 11 Emmy Awards out of 26 nominations. Outstanding limited series, outstanding lead actress in a limited series or movie for Regina King. Remember when Regina King said at the Oscars, I'm going to trade my high heels for marching boots when I go protest, and everybody for the Black Lives Matter, and everybody pointed out, bitch, you live in a $3 million mansion. And your kids are safer than any other kids in America because you live in like Beverly Hills and shit. Outstanding supporting actor in a series for Yahya Abdul Mateen II, who was playing the blackface version of Dr. Manhattan. Outstanding writing for a limited series or movie or dramatic special for Damon Lindelof. Oh my God, it won 11 awards. It was nominated for 26. And it's unfucking believable. And it was so popular, guys. It was so popular that it was renewed and then never made. And one of the excuses, and I shit you not, one of the excuses was, we said everything we needed to say. It was kind of a perfect series already. Why follow up perfection? Yeah. I was doing reviews with Doomcock back in the day. I remember a guy coming, like people were, this is the most dangerous live stream ever, because we're just pointing out like how fucking racist and horrible the show was. So he's done, Damon Lindelof has produced The Hunt, executive producer for Another Country, executive producer for Mrs. Davis, executive producer for Be True to Your School. What's he writing? What is he writing? So he did the writing for The Hunt and Mrs. Davis, a TV miniseries. So he hasn't done much, like at all, in the last 6 years. This is the first thing he's written since the smash Emmy Award winning Watchmen, and none of those Emmy Awards had anything to do with the black female lead, the temperature in America at the time, the Summer of Love, Black Lives Matter, Hollywood's reaction to it. It was all earned on merit, everybody. Okay. Oh, and somebody from Bad Reboot would capitalize on a movement and try to hitch their wagon to it to self-aggrandize and win awards. They would never do that. Ever, ever. Oh, they do that all the time. They do that all the time. Jar Jar Abrams' Bad Reboot and his disciples, Damon Lindelof, Alex Kurtzman, J.D. Payne, Patrick McKay, Lindsay Weber, have done more damage to Hollywood than 10,000 Harvey Weinsteins. They have destroyed Star Wars, Star Trek. They fucked up Westworld. They're fucking up DC right now. They fucked up Lord of the Rings. And Jar Jar almost made it into DC. He was trying to worm his way into DC. And honestly, I think James Gunn taking over, I don't know who would do a worse job, to be honest. Now that I've seen it, I would automatically say Jar Jar would do a worse job. But it's hard. It's hard to say right now. They both suck. You know what? Snyder's better than both of them. Now, that doesn't mean Snyder is great. It just means he's better than both of them. Okay, let's hear this all over again. I went on a little bit of a tangent there. Sorry.
White men have the privilege of being eccentric. White men with money, they can do whatever the fuck they want. Play cowboy, build castles.
You like that?
Yeah, I like the security. I also like that he could have brought some blonde people from Texas to be his arm candy, but he wanted me.
I'm sure a lot of people want you.
None. That could give me what he has.
So she just
Well,
uses
deal
him
with
for
it
his
now.
money. Tracks. Okay, so the theory is that's the Manhunter. Particularly as pointed out in his video, and I agree with his assessment. They keep on saying he. So it is 100% a woman. It just is. But they keep on saying there's one Manhunter. I think the whole town is aliens. Or Manhunters.
It's a lot to deal with, I know, but it's worth it, I think. When I need a break, I just take one.
So you'll put up with some deeply weird white man with a savior complex just to live the life?
No, I'm with my husband because I love him. And I know he loves me. Hey, how's your white man?
But then you cheat on. Okay, so when I'm doing my watch party last night, I'm like, I'm pretty talkative in the first part, and then it just gets boring. So I'm just sitting there. Well, I'm like Hassan or 99% of the streamers on Twitch and YouTube right now who just fucking sit there and watch shit and not saying anything. And then the chat starts going, wait for it. Oh, wait for it. Here it comes. Here it comes. And it was that. I'm like, what the fuck? So I look in, and this is like over 2/3 of the way into the episode. I'm like, oh shit, I was waiting for something to actually happen. You can play the rest.
How is he? He wanted me out the way, so he sent me to fetch his things.
Boy. Hey, how's your black man? How's your yellow man? And when two writers who are white men, I know, Rumble, you're not going to consider one of them white. I know, but they're white men. It's so pandering and so obvious, and they don't care about a cause. I want to bring it back to 2020 when Watchmen was written. It was very opportunistic. Hollywood is an opportunistic town. They love to talk about the causes and charities they work for and leave out the tax evasion and the fact that they're debaucherous degenerates. But how good of people they are on their fifth marriage, constantly like simply cheating on your wife is like, I mean, we've all just kind of like, is that all you did? You know, how did my wife put it? Oh, leaving Wendy for Tinkerbell happens a lot. I think that's from a book or something. And they're the ones constantly telling us how to live, but Bad Reboot I'll never let him forget this, was the one who said during the riots, while cities were burning, they put out a statement that's lots of enough of this, enough of that, but they said enough white comfort. Enough white comfort. Also, Jar Jar Abrams' wife was instrumental and on the board of Time's Up, which was part of the Me Too movement, which was used as a massive power grab. Didn't really concern themselves with women and women being abused. And one of the people on the board were abusing and sleeping with underage kids. So that got really quiet all of a sudden. But yeah, they hitched their wagon to a cause so they can make some money. And they also hitched their wagon to our beloved stories, our beloved IPs, and destroy them. And look where they all are right now. Well done. Mission accomplished. All right. So the other part of the story is Hal Jordan goes full detective mode while Jon Stewart is off getting his lantern. He goes to the town hall meeting and is disruptive, and then gets a phone call and leaves. And then he decides to go to the police station because the entire town is at the town hall and nobody's at the police station. And he pulls out a bunch of dead bodies of the victims of the shooting at the football game. We find out that it was Will Macon, the Taylor Sheridan villain. He's the one, his people shot up the aliens. Didn't get arrested. And for some reason, because I guess now that we know they're aliens and they could just kill aliens and endanger people at football games and nobody get arrested, whatever. So Hal Jordan steals these bodies to take them through a metal detector at the stadium in broad daylight, a metal detector that's on for some reason. And it turns out to be an alien detector. But first I couldn't believe he was doing it. I don't know why he fucking did this. He goes in the back of the Toyota and he gets the jack. He gets the jack, which is metal. So he's probably testing to see if the metal detector is on. I'm all, okay, that's not bad. Then he takes the grill off the Toyota. I'm like, that thing's plastic. What the fuck are you doing? It's a plastic grill. The only metal thing on it may be a screw, which might not set off a metal detector, by the way. I want an alien detector too, but I'm like, why is he ripping off the grill of the car? Just take the tire iron. Exactly. I'm like, and I wasn't going to go back and like, what's the point of doing that? It's plastic. I know. I sold a bunch of them. So then he takes the aliens through and they set off a little detector. They're all naked. They all got their twig and berries hanging out. I mean, that's probably it. I mean, that would be my guess. That's a good guess. Product placement for Toyota, but the emblem is not metal. So he drags the naked bodies, broad daylight, all four of them through, and they set off the alien detector. And then he gets pulled over with the 4 dead bodies in the car. The sheriff chews him out. She obviously knows more than he does. And everybody knows more than we do. It's mystery box bullshit. They go to the ranch. He gets fucking shot. He gets shot. They shoot a Green Lantern. And they're like, you're trespassing. He's standing with the fucking sheriff. Okay. And then they shoot somebody in front of the sheriff. I am guessing no matter where the fuck you are, even in Texas, if you shoot somebody in front of a sheriff, the sheriff will at least go, hold up, wait a minute. It's like, what the fuck? So he got shot in the shoulder. No hard feelings. Jon Stewart comes back. Now, Jon Stewart, when he went out to go get the lantern, he got abducted. He got abducted by a bunch of old men. Well, an old man. It's like Timu Mike Ehrmantraut, who many are speculating are the Red Lanterns. I can hear you. I tried to bring this up last week, and you're like, and as rightly so was, what? Why? So this show is filled with like, hey, this show's got fucking Sinestro and the Guardians and the Manhunters and maybe Atrocitus and Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart. Oh, they're all just a bunch of dudes and old guys in their street clothes. But that's the future of superheroes. We can make like Dallas and just say it's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and they all just live on a fucking mansion somewhere in their street clothes. It's Smallville. But Smallville at least tried. But you're right. It's Smallville. So even Grant Morrison was critical, and he said, "Listen, this is obviously budgetary," and he's right. He's right. They're not putting, but they're also trying to this bullshit that they're trying to distance themselves from the Ryan Reynolds movie. Could you remind me, chat? You lovely chat. How long has it been since the Ryan Reynolds movie came out? Because I think the passage of time is enough distance. 15 years? I think 15 years is enough time. 15 fucking years. You're separated. You're pretty separated from it. Nobody's going to be like, especially so you want to get a younger audience, which nobody's watching, by the way. So if this audience is 25, they were 10 when that came out, they're barely going to remember it. So that's bullshit. They just wanted to make a superhero True Detective because it was cheap, it was derivative, and they don't believe in Green Lanterns. They think it's a silly idea. The people who own Green Lanterns think Green Lanterns is silly. And if you're not going to respect it, why in the fuck should we? But this is a masterpiece of storytelling, everybody. This is a masterpiece of storytelling. Yeah, I heard that with HBO Watchmen too. So he gets abducted by a mysterious organization of superpowered beings. And then he gets a nail gun to his head. That's going to show us some exposition. Now, it might be something different. It might be something different from Red Lanterns. I'm just talking about what other people are saying online. I can't even be bothered to care that much, but their planet, whatever the main guy is, he said his planet has been destroyed by Manhunters, and I want you to see. You need to see. So I'm like, okay, we're going to see some Manhunters. We're going to see what they've done to other races. So they put the little exposition gun to Jon Stewart's head, and they don't show us anything. The guy goes, you need to see. So Jon Stewart has seen, they have seen, but we haven't seen. Why haven't we seen? Budget and mystery box. So they go through all that to not show us anything, but that's part of the story, man. Yeah, you know what? I don't give a fuck. So they want him to find the Manhunter, the most dangerous species on the planet in this town, and tell them, whoever this organization is, Red Lanterns, whatever the fuck they are, so they can, so basically Jon Stewart can investigate behind Hal Jordan's back. Well, Jon Stewart tells Hal Jordan, like, what's going on, everything that's going on, and it has something that, and they bring up Sinestro. They also bring up Sinestro in a conversation with Hal Jordan and Sheriff Girlboss, who used to work at Gotham, by the way. Oh boy, another mention of Gotham. We won't see Batman in a TV thing forever. So in the end, Sinestro's name gets brought up, and Aaron Pierre's Jon Stewart asks Hal Jordan, like, what Sinestro got to do with this? What's going on? He's all, it's above your pay grade, Junior. So at the very end, he puts on his costume because Jon Stewart brought his costume back with the lantern, thought it would be useful. And the costume looks fucking terrible. Could you find a picture of the costume? It looks, you guys have seen it, but like, it is not good. It's not good. So James Gunn's, and this goes back to Marvel. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the costumes weren't very good in that either. But that costume looked fucking terrible. So he puts on the costume and he flies to Oa. So you've seen this in the trailer. He goes to Oa and he meets Old Man Sinestro, played by the guy from Banshee, the bad guy from Banshee. Great actor. And he's, basically Hal Jordan walks in and goes, tell me everything you know about the Manhunters. And Sinestro goes, no, hello, how's your family? And he goes, hello, how's your family? Tell me everything you know about the Manhunters. And he's all, well, that's the second most dangerous thing you need to worry about. But why don't you tell me about Jon Stewart? Now, the picture of Hal Jordan in the costume. Hal Jordan in the costume. Hang on. Yeah, here it is. Alls I searched on Twitter was Lantern's costume, X-Ray Girl. It's my great search skills. There it is. That's just a picture. I'm gonna give you some vidya here. Hang on. Grabs costume. There he is. Hang on. Like the lantern doesn't even glow a little bit. All right, that looks cool. That looks cool. Great. This is probably the only time we're going to see it. just so you know, in the 8-episode series, here's Oa. This is the one time you're going to see it. But that costume looks like shit. Damon Lindelof. So he goes to prison. And there's Sinestro, who's basically a guy with a sunburn. And again, I love this actor. I think he's great. Watch Banshee. Banshee is the shit. It is such a good show.
Sinestro.
So the costume's supposed to be worn out like Hal. And he had other costumes that were newer. And that thing looks like, X-Ray Girl, does that not look like it smells? Look around the collar. They've made sure to put like this there's a point where he brings up, like, tell me how you piss in the costume. Well, you make a construct, dickhead. And then you can make a little trap door. And you can pee in space. It's like peeing in the shower. Although I don't do that. Because I think it's fucking disgusting. But yeah.
He looks like he smells like 5 to 7 days out of hasn't showered.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, like if that's a brand new costume that he went out on an adventure where he didn't have like access to another costume or anything, and he's just coming back from like and being embattled from one battle, and then you get a new costume because fuck.
Yeah.
The Guardians have a budget, okay?
Yeah, it's like sweat, crust, more sweat, more crust. Yeah.
Your prolific DC superhero, sir.
Homeless Jordan.
Homeless Jordan.
Sinestro. Hal. Tell me what you know about manhunters.
No, hello.
Why wouldn't Hal Jordan know about manhunters unless they're going to be keeping it secret, and that's the secret the Guardians are keeping from Hal and everybody else, is that they created the manhunters before. That's probably going to be part of it, right? The thing is, you're going to hear people mention manhunters, Gotham, Red Lanterns, Green Lanterns, Sinestro, and it's all going to be like old people in street clothes. Shit. And Sinestro is just an old guy back from his vacation in the Mediterranean because he's fucking sunburned. Oh, I agree. I 100% agree. This is a good... Kyle Chandler's good casting. Aaron Pierre's good casting. It's the words coming out of their pie holes that are terrible. But man, what a shocker, everybody. Something from Tom King and Damon Lindelof is ass. So far, we got to be fair. It could turn it all around in episode 3, right? And by the time it's over, we're going to go, woo, those first 2 episodes suck balls, but man, that was a good series. Chad, I just said I don't pee in the shower. It's disgusting. I do not. Ew. And Hal Jordan looks about as interested as the audience right there. Sweet summer child. Yeah, I think the likelihood of this thing turning around by episode 8 would be nothing short of a miracle. But we'll see. We will see. Is this true? Maybe I did hear something about that. Did it get renewed? Yep. Okay. Christopher Cantwell has joined the Lantern Season 2 writer's room as a new writer and executive producer, reportedly taking over creative duties from co-creators Damon Lindelof and Tom King, who are stepping back to focus on other projects. Chris Mundi will remain as the sole showrunner and is working alongside Cantwell and the co-creator of *Halt and Catch Fire*. HBO has not officially renewed the series. The writer's room for season 2 is fully assembled and writing has begun, indicating strong confidence from DC Studios in the show's potential. Well, I guess that all depends on the merger, doesn't it? I think based on it, well, they got to if they wanted to base it on their episode 1 ratings, sure. I would wait. or it gets this. It's going to get the Watchmen season 2 treatment. We're still waiting for it. Right along with that Dan and Dave trilogy, that Rianne Johnson trilogy. Yeah, if season 1 was successful, the chat says, why would they be changing? Why would they be stepping back? Good question. Well, maybe Damon Lindelof will come out and go, I can't work for David Ellison on principle alone. That will be the cope from a lot of people when they get fired. And they'll go, we left. Eternals 2, Shang-Chi 2. Was Eternals going to get a sequel? I honestly can't remember. But yeah, but now we got some good news. We got some good news because a week from this Thursday, a new show is returning. Well, a show that we liked. It's not new because it's returning, so that's impossible. And it is the Gent, and a trailer dropped today, and it looks pretty fucking good. Brilliant. September 3rd. Yes. Thank God. Season 1 was spectacular. I love the movie too. But that looks good. And season 3 has been picked up. So Netflix made it official today, and it will not feature, I repeat, it will not feature one Meghan Markle. Where'd that go? Whoops. Where'd that go? So, oh my, what the fuck, hang on. How's he got room for this shit? I think he should give this to me because I have room for it. I've been to his house. Where are you going to put that as on the roof? I mean, that could be kind of cool. Your house would be a giant transformer. That's pretty awesome, to be honest with you. All right, where was I? Meghan Markle. Oh my God, all the Meghan Markle, whatever her fucking name is, their channels were so excited that she was back in the news until she wasn't. Because after the rumors of her joining the season 3 of The Gentleman, that was shot down immediately. Meghan Markle, Angela Merkel, Meghan Markle, I don't care, reportedly dropped from Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman. Former editor-in-chief of Vanity Fair and The New Yorker, Tina Brown, reported Saturday that the decision came after intense backlash in the UK. I would like to believe that there was some intense backlash in the US of A as well. But yeah, so that's done. What do we have here? Mark Ruffalo called out for being anti-Semitic. He's just retarded. He's just retarded. Mark Ruffalo blasts Paramount for calling him anti-Semitic over merger criticism, appalling and fundamentally dishonest. Homeboy ain't gonna work very much anymore. You just pissed off the dude who's gonna own 2 major studios, and those 2 major studios are never gonna fucking hire you. And I think it has something to do with conflict in the sandbox over there. As things continue to get ugly around the proposed merger, Mark Ruffalo has called out Paramount for calling him anti-Semitic over his criticism of Warner Brothers acquisition. Because he made it about like Palestine. I don't know what it's got to do with Palestine. On Saturday, the 4-time Oscar nominee clarified his issue should never be interpreted as hostility towards Jewish people, except for all the hostility towards Jewish people he has. I mean, I don't know. It's what's funny? My favorite part about this, because I love irony and I just love when shit's funny and I love pointing out hypocrisy. But when the people who are calling us Nazis are more anti-Semitic than we ever were, because I don't really talk about it at all, ever. It's a bit hilarious. It's a bit fucking hilarious. The accusation that I am anti-Semitic is appalling and fundamentally dishonest, he began on X, criticizing the actions of the Israeli prime minister. Well, I mean, like, you can criticize a country's leader without being anti-Semitic. That's stating the obvious, okay? A military technology contract or the executives who supply it is not the same as criticizing the Jewish people. The critical and necessary dialogue is then dishonest in frame for being anti-Israel. Well, how would you apply that to Muslim then, Mark? Just curious. To be clear, my views come from my own political convictions and should never be interpreted as hostility towards Jewish people, for whom I have deep love and respect. Everything I know about activism, and humanism has been profoundly shaped by my Jewish friends, colleagues, and loved ones. Well, yes, lots of Marxists. I completely understand that and agree. And loved ones who have been integral in family throughout my point of life. Yes, your very privileged point of life. The merger has the real consequences for real people and for the entire country. Scrutinizing the Ellisons, including Oracle's business built on data, surveillance technology, and government contracts, and the serious threat to editorial freedom. Editorial freedom. Let's just stop right there. How much editorial freedom does the news have right now? Just to tell you where I'm coming from, I don't believe fucking any of them. I think Fox is the Washington Generals of news, and then everybody else is the same, is the fucking same. They all chirp the same shit from the same two sources, which is AP and and Reuters. And that's been going on for years. And they play this tit for tat shit. And I couldn't tell you the difference between CBS News, ABC News, and NBC News. There's no difference. And there hasn't been for years. For years. So stop with this editorial freedom bullshit. It's editorial freedom for everything that you agree with. The acquisition is to save your fucking town. The acquisition, this merger, is a direct result of the strikes that you, Mark Ruffalo, took part in, and your Film Actors Guild and the Writers Guild of America right after COVID. What did the most damage to Hollywood was the strikes that you, Mark Ruffalo, in the Film Actors Guild and the Writers Guild of America mistakenly thought was a way to make more money and get more jobs after you shut down your industry twice in 5 years. And then you're actually fucking surprised when, things like downsizing, mergers, acquisitions, those always happen after an industry goes through an economic downturn, which is what Hollywood's doing. And despite two movies doing spectacularly over the last month, it is a drop in the fucking bucket. Hollywood needs Christopher Nolan to direct a movie every weekend for 4 years, and it releases every weekend for 4 years straight for them to recover. Talk to me on October 30th. October 30th. So that's 2 months, a little over 2 months. There are no tentpole releases until mid-November. No major tentpole. Now, there's a lot of volume. There's a lot of releases, but there's nothing that's going to even hit $300 million worldwide. So there's no major tentpole releases until mid-November. There is nothing. So this merger is going to happen. You're responsible for it. You should be thankful because it's going to save fucking jobs, and you just don't like it because of the Ellisons. That's it. If it was anybody else, nobody had a problem with Fox and Disney. Nobody. Oh, wait, I know who did. I did. This isn't even close to being a monopoly. They don't have the market share. They just don't. They don't. It's not a monopoly. So it's going to happen. And we'll see. And then Ellison will move out of California anyway, which I think would just be hilarious. Tennessee, Texas. Texas would be cheaper than Tennessee. But yeah, I don't know what kind of infrastructure they have in Tennessee. There is a little bit of infrastructure here. They can move to Georgia too, where they have tons of infrastructure for studios. But yeah, but I don't know. Ellison, dude, moving to Austin, bro. You're just moving to California again. Why would you move to Austin? There might be a few less homeless people, but not much. Toronto. No, they want to keep it in America. Move to Texas and bring back the Western. Hell yeah. Austin is Texas, San Francisco. You are 100% correct. That's why we didn't move there. It didn't even cross my mind to move there. It's where all the tech is and all the money is, but no, it's okay. Give me boring ass suburbs. Let's go to the people. We have an announcement for, excuse me, for next Friday. We kind of put this, we weren't originally going to do this. Oh, look at that. Sorry, people are showing me their CGC comics. And I'm like, ooh. Nick Holt is out, by the way. Like out of the closet? Out. Out is New Braunfels is great. So Friday, we have an announcement for our next tour, which came together quickly. So it's not the UK. This will be before the UK. UK is going to happen in September, and we'll make the announcement of that pretty early. This is the UK is going to be kind of like a nerd. It's a megalithic, but mostly nerd tour. This one's going to be straight up Forbidden Frontier. And megaliths and ancient sites and all that fun shit. And Michael Collins is putting it together. A little bit of a cheeky title for it, which I love. And you'll find out Friday. You'll find out Friday if you want to go. It's a bucket list place. Somebody, you know what? Should we just say it, X-Ray Girl? Somebody guessed it last night. It's the moon. It's the moon. Yep. We're going to the moon. Let's go to the member chat. X-Ray Girl, you doing okay out there? Doing okay back there? You all right? You're a little tired.
Yeah.
I kept you up.
Yep.
Okay, just checking. Okay, get the hell off the screen, woman. Incognitus Jones has been a member for 15 months. Says Lindelof said there's no stories about aging heroes, which is why Hal is washed up. Dude's never read a comic in his life. What a piece of shit. Waste of space. There's no stories about aging heroes. Did he really say that? He cannot have really said that. He can't even say that with the movies. Incognitus Jones. Did he not see Logan? There's no stories about aging heroes. There's literally hundreds of stories about aging heroes. What are you talking about? Woot, says Dark Schwartz Rising. Thank you for being a member for 18 months. Hey, Gary. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. The past Thursday, I was celebrating another birthday. My first kid was born. Hail. She will be Hoovian ASAP. She should be. Start her on the classics. Good morning, sir. Resting Dirt Face. That is a great avatar, by the way. Snarklet has been a member for 4 months. Cheers. By the look of Hal Jordan and Sinestro's interaction, I believe that Hal would be the one to turn traitor. Yeah, Hal's acting. He's unrecognizable. He's acting more like Guy Gardner. But I mean, Hal's keeping something from us. The sheriff is keeping something from us. The town is keeping something from us. We're the only ones in the dark. And John Stewart, basically. But Hal knows way more than he's letting on. And the crash with Abensur that they think that Al is starting to think was or has always thought was weird. And the fact that they're 20 miles away. So John Stewart told Hal that the Guardians are hiding the Manhunters. And why would they do that? So obviously, nobody knows that the Guardians created the Manhunters first, and it went wrong. It went terribly wrong. But somehow it's going to be an immigration allegory. That would be my guess. Like Rushville, Nebraska is going to be like the Palestine of Manhunters, maybe. I don't fucking know. Peeing in the shower is not disgusting, you prude. I actually think that we're about to see a resurgence of Southern culture in media like 70s days with all the money folks moving to the South. Well, you know, Hollywood loves to emulate things, guys. You know that. They love to rip shit off, rip themselves off. And Netflix and Prime have both tried to make Taylor Sheridan-like shows. And they can't because Taylor Sheridan's pretty unique in how he makes it. And he's not perfect. All right. And Taylor Sheridan is not MAGA. He's just not, he's just not some intersectional Marxist. But I think Netflix and Paramount might have found the British Taylor Sheridan. I think Guy Ritchie should just make TV shows because his last couple of movies, But The Gentleman Show is the most Guy Ritchie thing I've seen since The Gentleman movie. So maybe he should just do that. Ex Gropo says, hail. Garibaldi. Look at R.I.P. R.I.P. Babylon 5 is a spectacular show. That's what X-Ray Girl, when you're done with the 1,000 Stargates you need to watch, I would say after SG1, jump over to Babylon 5. It's only a few seasons. It's only one show. It's spectacular. I think you should watch Babylon 5. And then you can go back and do the rest of the Stargates. I watch Babylon 5 like once a year. Okay. Warhawk for $25 says, thanks for helping me through a tough day. My wife died last month, and today would have been our 32nd anniversary. Prayers, brother. Also, always say I love you. You never know when it will be the last time. Always say I love you. You never know when it'll be the last time, for real. On the plus side, I'm thinking about writing another book. Do something. You need to do something. Nothing's going to make it better, as you know. But that's what she would have wanted. Keep your mind active. Be creative. Honor her memory. We got a rough email. I'm going to read it. Remind me to read this on Friday Night Tights, X-Ray Girl. So, one of our listeners has passed away. And, as he was dying, he was, just watching us, and his wife sent me a nice email. Like it was the sweet relief from some of the suffering. And when you get these emails, like, oh man, it's like a gut punch. And it is an honor and a privilege to be retarded for you on the internet. And if it brings you a little smile, a little chuckle or anything, then I consider it a job well done. And I think there's a lot of content creators out there who lose sight of how fortunate we are to have worked really hard. Some people might not think so, and that's fine. To have these great gigs, and that's why it's really good to have these meetups, because it makes it real, and you talk to people, and you understand like how fucking awesome this is, and again how fortunate we are, and be grateful. Nothing lasts forever. Be grateful. Don't always be worrying about what other people have or what other people are doing. Be grateful. Makes life so much easier. But it's really sad to hear that. And it's hard to figure out what to even say, other than like, I'm sorry for your loss. And if we could put a smile on his face, then I guess we did something good. The Cynical Crusader for $1 says, Michael Taylor is writing for Vision Quest. He's the guy who wrote great DS9 episodes, including In the Pale Moonlight. Yeah, with Terry Metalis. Yeah, they're gonna. We'll see. We'll see how that show turns out. The Night Trek. Gary, my review of the Star Trek puppet episode will be on my channel tonight. And so it's already there. So go to the Night Trek. Go check it out. And at the Night Trek here on YouTube. Love you lots. Cheers. Space, the Felted Frontier. Holy God. I thought 4.5 Vulcans was going to be the worst Strange New Worlds episode ever. Way to prove me wrong, Kurtzman. I'd rather watch Spock's brain again. I'd rather watch Dr. Crusher have sex with that ghost again. I would too, Duke Devil. People bringing up those episodes, like what Code of Honor, or what's the other one? Spock's brain. It's like, fuck you. Those episodes are masterpieces compared to Kurtzman Trek. Philip, I can't say this last name, is gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships. Thank you, Philip Pefanuev. That's why I didn't want to say it. Sounds like I'm having a goddamn stroke. Unicorn Gundam is the best Gundam. It is, Grand Potato. Stunner 900 for $9.99. Suburban LA native here. Coyotes will walk down the street in broad daylight, not giving a single fuck. They'll even go after pets, even if people are nearby. Now, that's a normal thing for SoCal. I think anybody who lives in SoCal, that's pretty normal. We heard them every night, and it would be like right across the street from our house. But we were talking about coyotes in like urban centers, like hardcore urban centers. Like Ryan saw one in LAX, and I saw them in downtown San Francisco. But in the suburbs of Southern California, coyotes are everywhere. Auto Coder for $5 says, Ryan, was NNPTC crawling with Magic Nerds when you were there? Played so much when I was there. Green Dragon Goose Creek. I don't know anything I read there, X-Ray Girl. That must be some card shit. Mark Hancock for $10. Which of y'all lost and won the most gambling in Vegas? Oh, I don't think. I lost $300 and I'm never going to gamble again. I'm fucking done forever. I mean, I sat there and gambled for a long time on that $300, but I eventually just fucking lost it all. And I'm like, that was fucking retarded. Like, I could have got a decent back issue for that. I could have got a stack of comics for that. The house always wins, baby. It's pronounced coyote. I saw that chat. So I'm going to say me. I don't know. I don't recall any of the FNT crew. I know Jeremy wasn't there long enough to gamble, but he doesn't gamble at all. I think Ryan does, but he didn't talk about it. Eric K won. Like, Eric K is the guy who came out I think he won like $1,600. So he came out the best. Is Vegas going downhill? A bit. They've cleaned it up. So 3 years ago, it was getting bad. Like, there was a lot of hood rats and shit running around. And we'll just say, as Nevada got more red, it started getting more clean. I know it's weird, but it got a little more clean. I would say the drawback right now is it's too expensive. What the hell? Why did that happen? Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. So I would say it has gone downhill because it's too expensive. And it's missing the problem with what Vegas needs to do is it needs to reinvent itself and bring in some new hotels and new experiences it's an amusement park. It's a city that's an amusement park. So they need to be so they are doing something new. The Hard Rock Hotel is a giant guitar, right? And they have the IndyCar stuff there. But then they're bringing, like, the A's are going to have a stadium on the fucking strip. So I was talking to Matthew Kadish, and he's just like, fucking, I don't know what they're going to do with that. But yeah, Vegas goes through ups and downs like everything else, and it's in a little bit of a down period. So the fact that it's so fucking expensive now for everybody, and there are still hotels you can go to that are cheap. You can go to the Excalibur, you can go to the Luxor, and they will be $50 a night, and they're not bad, right? They're not bad. Believe me, they're not bad. So it's still affordable on that part, but when you're going out to eat, and those like the all you can eat buffets used to be super cheap, and you could just live off those things. I used to go to Vegas in my 20s with like $300 or $400 and be there the whole weekend and have a great time. And that, I mean, yeah, that was 100 years ago, but you can't do that anymore. So that's why, we're going to do Vegas one more time and then reevaluate where we're going to do the meetup after that. we'll see. So we'll make this last one a great one. A great one. Scrolling HBO Max, Superman's James Gunn has a thumbnail with Guy Gardner. I saw that too on the cover of the Superman movie. I believe in gun-free zones. So do I. Empo for $11.99. What are you talking about? Sam Neill, John Carpenter's alive, right? Rest in peace, Sam Neill. Snacks for $5. Helen Keller moral. Don't be blind and deaf and led around by communists. Agreed. When it comes to crime, Conrad Cruz had a point, and the lore master Arch Warhammer, now known as Arch, has excellent lore videos to educate you. There you go. Love Arch. The only good thing about Ahsoka is that hilarious Obi-Wan Force Ghost copy pasta and video. That shit was so stupid, but absolutely hilarious. I don't know if I can. We get hit every time we play it, X-Ray Girl. But I think I still have it. Hang on. Where is... Did I get rid of it? No, it's still there. What the hell? It must be the USB. Here, we're going to get a clip for this, but fuck it.
Did I ever tell you about Ahsoka Tano?
So much like your father.
That's so good. It's so good. Oh. Let's see if my camera wants to work. It's 50-50. Should we take bets? No, gambling's bad. It's very addictive. Hey. There we go. I left it on last night, X-Ray Girl, so I think it's overheating. It's sad to hear that the motion capture of Wolverine is done by... Is this true? I heard this and I didn't believe it. Wolverine is the motion capture is a woman? And so is... Oh, is a black woman? Well, it's just motion. Like a woman. Women don't move the same way as men. Didn't we learn this lesson with the Taskmaster in Black Widow? You see, we have these things called testicles, balls. And it makes us walk different than women who don't have testicles. No, this is the second time I've heard that a woman did the mocap for Wolverine. X-Ray Girl, can you fact check that for me, please? Because that could come from discussing fish or, you know, like... I believe in the free flow of information. I believe in free speech. You just got to work a little harder to sift through the utter... Oh, fuck, it's true. Fucking hell. Yeah. Hollywood ain't going to change, folks. You know what's... Okay. Some parts of Hollywood are changing. Some parts are recognizing that they need to make money. And they're dialing back the overt messaging that they have put in over the last 6 years. They're going to get smarter about it. They're going to get more subtle about it. And it's going to lead some people to think that there's this grand major change where even when I was talking about it a year and a half ago, it's like, we're going to get some change, but we're not going to get everything we want, which I'm kind of okay with as long as we get some change. I would just like to see balance, right? For example, if like something woke comes out, but it's original woke, okay, I just won't watch it. It's the taking established franchises and making it something they're not. Hollywood's always going to tell stories like that. They always are. So if it's original, it's like whatever. You know, it's like that Children of Blood and Bone. It looks terrible, and I think the term original should be used very loosely, like Sinners. Sinners wasn't original either. But I mean, if you're gonna make that, fine. Fine. Stop making Lord of the Rings shit. You know, stop subverting everything. But if you want to do your own thing and have an all black cast, that's fine. Go for it. Tyler Perry exists. Go for it. Ain't got no problem with that. It's the lack of consistency. It's the hypocrisy. It's we can do it with white culture, but we don't do anything. I mean, you can go in a lantern show and say things like, "How's your white man?" Can I say, "How's your black man?" No. No. So it's just, and that's what makes it racist, inherently racist. What even white people writing that was racist in its truest form in those lines from Lanterns. That was racist. But it's okay because you can't be racist to white people, which is inherently racist. But nobody wants to have that conversation. But as far as like Hollywood completely changing, there's going to be some change. Maybe it comes from Ellison. Maybe it doesn't. He's been working there for 20 years. The one company that will not change is Disney. They will never change. But admittedly, like this year, we've had a lot of good stuff. We have. Now, we might not all agree on that good stuff, but Project Hail Mary, Night of the Seven Kingdoms was my favorite thing to come out this year. Even more than Project Hail Mary. That's my favorite movie, but Night of the Seven Kingdoms is my favorite thing by far. You can watch all of our reviews on the main channel. And I like Spider-Man. Not everybody likes Spider-Man, but I like Spider-Man. It's got its problems, but I like it. Clarkson's Farm is the greatest thing ever. Everybody should watch Clarkson's Farm. And hopefully we get 2 more shows that are good. And Landman was last year. Does it again. I think it's overheating. Let me just be off camera for a little bit. Sorry, you're not going to see my old crusty face for a minute. 57, X-Ray Girl. 57. Fucking hell. I have no business being here. But as far as Hollywood changing, parts of it are. That is definitely happening. Marvel, you might not like the change or believe in the change, and those are very fair assessments from you, by the way. But they are trying to change. I think it's half measures, and they're not doing everything they need to change, but clearly bringing back Robert Downey Jr. and bringing back Chris Evans, and even though Chris Evans is Captain Shirt Pants, that is them trying to change. There's some things that I'll tell you. Well, no, I can tell you now. Here's a sign of a little change from Disney. Little. But you got to take the good with the bad. So Speed, which is, the sons of Vision and Scarlet Witch, Tommy and Billy, Speed and Wiccan. Speed is going to be in in Vision Quest. Disney wanted to make Speed gay. Now, in the comic books, Wiccan is gay. Wiccan was originally called in the comics, if you recall, the Asgardian, and they made him gay, and he was called the Asgardian. So they changed it to Wiccan. and Speed was not. So people involved with the show went, well, wouldn't it be weird if both sons were gay? I mean, really? You need them both gay? And I'm finding out more and more that this is reality. And this is no news to you guys. It won't be shocking. But when a lot of these shows are proposed and these scripts go through, there are people whose job is literally to go, yeah, but can we make this character gay or a black female? That's their entire job. That's what the showrunner said. Why? And they shot it down. So that's we'll get little change here and there. But one woke after another won Best Picture, and we all know why it won Best Picture. And Elliot Page will be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I don't know if it's Oscars or Golden Globes or Critics' Choice. I don't know which one it will be, but Elliot will be nominated 100%. I think it's only like 5 minutes of screen time, which puts it on the cusp. So for Oscars, the shortest amount of screen time for a Best Supporting Actor or Actress, I believe, is 9 minutes. Elliot. Gregory, been a member for 7 months, says, I'm glad you understand and don't get greedy. Help people who have kind souls and avoid the people who left the light. Much love and God bless. Hail. Gratitude. Yeah, that can get me on a whole different tangent about content creators. I was just talking to Jeremy last night. We were talking and the right. I mean, this might sound familiar. Doesn't know how to fucking win. So we had a bit of a cultural shift in November of just last year. No, sorry, year and a half ago. I forgot. It's 2026. I'm getting old, dude. So it's been almost 2 years since the cultural shift. And does it feel like a win? A lot of people were acting like we've won. It was like, no, you didn't. And here we are. Here we are. Everybody's squabbling. Everybody's fucking fighting. And the right doesn't know how to win. And it's because they haven't taken pop culture as culture. They haven't taken it seriously. And because they haven't taken it seriously, they fundamentally misunderstand most of it. Not all, but most of it. And they've been their own worst enemy. Yeah. So as the midterms come up, be ready. All Bro Media for $9.99. I sometimes imagine Christopher Nolan at home with headphones on, eyes closed and nodding his head as he's listening to Travis Scott's Sicko Mode on repeat. Hey, one of his favorite movies, to his credit, is Talladega Nights. Judah for $5. Shad, you should tame emus to ride into battle. You'll be able to become king of Australia because, your military and police can't fight them. I mean, that's not a bad idea. A sword wielding Shad on the back of an emo. Like he's got a sword in each hand too. Salty Saurus Rex for $2 says, Mike, when are you going to fly Mazza to Epicverse Studios? Who's Mazza? Wait, I know who Mazza is. Is Mazza Australian? It's a name I haven't heard in a long time. I wonder how Epicverse Mazel Tov, maybe Mozzarella. No, I don't know if he's Jewish or not. He might be. Yeah, they had to start. It's getting rough over there. It is with the fallout due to the war in the sandbox, and then Candace Owens. It's rough over there. And Candace Owens is, I'm guessing, the most watched person in the political sphere right now, which means we're doomed. I don't actually believe that. Things go through cycles, but but yeah. The thing is, Matt Walsh used to be like a DJ. So, he knows his stuff on music. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. His stuff on anime and being demonic and games being demonic. And it's like, hey, shut up. Is he trolling or not? I don't care. And I did like his movie. I gave it a positive review. Am I racist? Hale, thanks for getting for another great FNT show. Going to break out the top Tropic Thunder DVD for movie night. Oh, hell yeah. And listen to RDJ's commentary in character. Have you guys ever watched Entourage? It's great. Yes. Poppy Sal, I did. I love how Gary says, fellow gamers, as the last video game he played was an Etch-a-Sketch. How dare you say that about mixtape? Mixtape is art. Okay. Chase the Normie for $19.99 says, Sheriff is Megan the White Martian. Green Martians and Manhunters are mixed together and is an ice allegory. The town is a sanctuary city. Hal has to die at the end to protect the secret of its sanctuary city. I think you just plotted the show, Chase. Joseph Kardychak for $4.99. Tropic Thunder and Last Action Hero are the two greatest movies mocking Hollywood. Garrett, when they canceled Normal World, I canceled my subscription to The Blaze. Darth Vapor for $5. He'll be happy to hear that. Thumb Ugly for $2. Big Dad is better than these shows or movies. No surprise that Tomorrowland 2015 about broadcasting misery and dystopian messaging was written by Damon Lindelof. I think he's got an agenda. A bit. So everybody from Bad Robot is a tourist. And it's tourists hitching their wagon to properties because they can only mystery box so much. And it goes to show, like, a fandom can imprint things that don't exist in a show or a movie and convince convince themselves they're seeing something that makes sense when it doesn't. When Damon Lindelof himself and Jar Jar Abrams, when he left himself, have said, like, Lost, we had no end for Lost. We just had to keep shit going. And then when they wanted to end it, they didn't. And they just kept throwing more stuff in. And look at Stranger Things. Look at Stranger Things. Look at how the fandom imprinted so much of what just wasn't there, right? And that's part of mystery box storytelling, and that's why it is a bit of a it's a hack, it's a cheat. Jesus. Yeah, I shouldn't have left my camera on all night last night. Mystery box is just an excuse for bad quality. Yes, mystery box is a way to avoid characterization, avoid any narrative structure. It allows you to change things last minute. But it also prevents things like character arcs. And listen, when it was newish, it was fun for a little while, but then, I loved Alias, then it went off the rails. Lefties are turning anime and manga woke too. I mean, I think a lot of anime and manga has been woke, but yeah, they will. And that's next. Like, once the Gen X stuff is over with, they're going to move on to the anime and manga. Superheroes are supposed to give humanity an ideal to strive towards. Well, you can't have that anymore. You can't have exceptionalism and greatness, because that's very anti-Marxist, which Hollywood is very Marxist and getting more open about it to the day. They've always been red. A large portion of it has been red. So the Guardians can control the black man. Yes. A comics division stream was better production values than the Lanterns. Yes, it does. Hollywood finally broke me. Instead of starting a podcast, I'm creating a satirical magazine for all of us nerds who can't stop this crap anymore. Well, good luck. I think magazines can work if they're in a niche and you have a following. Film Schooled for $4.99. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I think any show or movie about a Justice League superhero should be viewable by everyone, not just adults. I think that's a pretty good opinion, actually. Von Dewish for $5. Epic weren't you telling me that 2 lanterns, 1 ring was gay porn you were addicted to watching for a week or two? I don't know if he said that. I don't want to apply that to him. Christopher Patchett for £5 proper money. Gary, considering what your wife does, you really shouldn't be mocking hairdressers. You sleep next to one and they have access to many sharp things. Oh, my wife will mock hairdressers. Hang on a second. Oh, shit. 49ers owner Jed York was arrested in Ohio. What did he do? Drunk driving? What happened to Jed York? Two hours ago. I mean, it's sports ball, so who gives a shit? But prostitution? Uh-oh. Jed York, friend of the extended family. Just want to say. Uh-oh. 49ers owner Jed York arrested, pleads no contest to misdemeanor charges. Pleaded no contest to a pair of misdemeanor charges Monday after being arrested in Ohio on suspicion of engaging in prostitution. According to Columbiana, Ohio court records, East Palestine police arrested York on Sunday with a charge of description of engaging in prostitution. The charge was amended to a misdemeanor disorderly conduct after York pleaded no contest to that, an additional misdemeanor charge for possessing criminal tools. What's that mean? The court records say the local prosecutor filed the plea deal Monday morning as York pleaded no contest and paid a $1,100 fine. York was also sentenced to 1 day in jail for each charge, which with 1 day already considered to be served. York has been the majority owner of the Niners since 2024, but has been the team's chief executive officer since 2008. He is originally from Youngstown, Ohio. Well, world's oldest profession. Oopsie doopsie. Thanks, bud. Getting some water. Oh, yeah. All right, back to the people. My wife sent me that tidbit of information. Okay, so Wigden Briones for $1.99 says, not if we consider Disney Star Wars canon, Gary. We do not consider. I don't consider Disney Star Wars canon. No. The Lone Boomer for $5. Time to crank out budget shows with unknown actors, directors, producers, and writers. See what works. Can't be any worse than what we're getting. I think if they increase the volume with lower budgets of movies coming out, that would be helpful. And yes, for most of them are going to be shit, but you will have a good chance of getting 1 out of 10, maybe. That's the thing with the success of the Odyssey and Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think it's going to overshadow like the true cultural phenomenon of the year, which was Obsession. William Perry for $5. Everyone talking about her dialogue. I still can't get over that weird ass mouth that's not human. Tom King apparently confirmed that Hal's indeed dead and Guy Gardner now has his ring. Just when you think the show couldn't get worse. Hashtag super shit, says Eddie Brock. Yaha Abdul Mateen II. With that name, there's 10 more. If Dr. Doom recreates Ultron, they could be effective. Even then, not a Thanos level threat. Well, Dr. Doom becomes more than that through other means, though. I don't know. I was just asking, like, how in the fuck, I think it was on EFAP, how do you follow up a multiversal event? How do you follow that up? Like, what's going to be bigger than that? You don't. And this was their mistake after Endgame. You should have done something very grounded. So after Civil War, they did in the comics, there was Dark Reign, there was Secret Invasion. I think Secret Invasion, instead of making it a show, should have been the phases. And that would have been so much better. But nope, we had to put Nick Fury in a trans allegory show. Callum G for £5 British. QBG PC find for Christmas. Got a feeling it's going to pull a long man with the amount of stress in the next few weeks. Yeah. Well, we're doing more evergreen stuff over the next couple of months because there's just not a lot of shit coming out. I'll probably do, because it's always time, right? So it looks like I'm going to have time to do a gentleman thing. And I'm definitely going to go live with Mobland. So we're going to do watch parties and then go live. That's going to happen. So yeah, we're going to just do some more evergreen stuff. The Lone Boomer for $10. But when what you're talking, we were talking on, like, it's going to be nuts. November, December, and January. because in that time period we have Godzilla Minus Zero, Dune 3, Doomsday, Rings of Power, Harry Potter, Starfleet Academy. Season 2. It's going to be nuts. The Lone Boomer for 10 British pound, no, dollars. The former Exxon Mobil headquarters campus, 290 acres with 300,000 square foot of office space sitting empty in Irving, Texas, if Paramount wants a place to relocate. I think there was another place in Austin that we're talking about. Cruor, thank you for the $1. Appreciate it. Andrew Pokey for $4.99. I'm fucking done with this channel. It's sad to see what it's become. Political commentary. I'm out. You're no different from Fox News or CNN. When did that happen? I'm trying to figure out when did that happen?
I believe it was when we were talking about Karen Bass and the WGA stuff.
Oh, yeah. The Karen Bass shit. It's Hollywood commentary. Maybe you were new. I often talk about California politics because I'm from California. But Karen Bass, the communist who went and, I'm sorry to bring this up, but Karen Bass, the communist who visited Fidel Castro multiple times. Yeah. The point we were bringing up is even she wanted the merger talks to happen. So that was our commentary. And it will continue because it concerns Hollywood. Don't blame us on politics ruining film. There you go. Well, either we are to blame or we aren't, right? We are to blame or we aren't. And the fact of the matter is, we're not. We didn't cause The Acolyte to get canceled. We didn't cause Supergirl to flop. We didn't cause the Marvels to flop. That would be the general public just not going to the movie. Would you recommend One World Under Doom before the recommended books of Doom? I already have Books of Doom. Books of Doom is good. I would read Books of Doom. It's great. Golden Axe is woke now with its animation. Yeah, I got to admit, didn't play any Sega Genesis. I watched Az's video on it, and it does look like they give it the CalArts treatment, and including, I guess, the barbarian guy being in the woman's arms. It's like, best show of all time, says Flynn. I don't know what we were talking about. Best show of all time. That could be a lot of things. Watching DC animated series and Arrowverse shows lately, and can't believe how good it is compared to the new DC. The first 2 seasons of Arrow are good. Kane's Brain for $19.99. Hey, y'all, got to recommend a Netflix movie called The Last House, a sci-fi horror movie that has a strong focus on the positivity of family, and the husband is an incompetent tool. Surprising for Netflix. Good. All right. Oh my God, Lois Lane on the bottom left is looking rough. Vision, something Marvel obviously doesn't have. Snacks. Oh. If you're looking for something good to watch in theaters, I highly recommend the anime film Your Name. It's back for its 10th anniversary, and it's great cinematic experience worth watching. Go check it out. The Thing sequel confirmed by John Carpenter. I hate everything about that. And I love John Carpenter unconditionally. Love him. Even his bad movies, I love. I love Escape from LA. I do. Alex the Viking for 50 Swedish krona. Doom will be a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. He will be a dude who don't know what dude he is. Wait a second. Tommy Wiseau isn't Dr. Doom. No, he's not, Tony. Thank you for the €2. I can't believe how Star Trek has fallen. They did a puppet episode on Angel 23 years ago. Fuck Kurtzman. Hail the Fellowship. Yeah, and that puppet episode was great. That puppet episode meant something. It wasn't just a gimmicky episode. It progressed the season forward. It progressed Angel's character forward, and it dealt with an issue that Angel was having at the time. And it was also written by Ben Edlund, creator of The Tick, one of the most underrated, talented writers out there. The Tick, by the way, in all of its forms, is good. The cartoon was good. The comic book was good. Both TV shows were good. The Tick is good. Gundu, where's Mrs. Anus? I missed that heartless Canadian Weech. Gollum's half-botch circumcision leftover. What is that about? I don't know. I was looking forward to this day today to hear Ryan rant on Dave Filoni's Ahsoka Season 2, but since my boy It's a Gundam is here, there needs to a tag team takedown of this god-awful show. Star Wars. Yeah, Ryan is of the belief that Ahsoka Season 2 is Dave Filoni's last hurrah, and I would agree with him. Andrew Pokey for $1.99. Marvel has gone full Fast and Furious one-upping. Steve Fitch for $5. Did you see that Mark Hamill is charging fans at Fan Expo? It's over one. Well, that's his only income. He stopped getting paid by the Democratic Party, who honestly didn't need to pay him, but they were. And they were paying George Takei, too. Nerdrotic's Depths Ebenezer test audience was 81%. I heard that, Lamon, and the movie looks good. So that's another, that's a mid-November movie that I had heard about because we're going to get a Christmas Carol from Robert Eggers at one point in the future with Willem Dafoe, which I can't fucking wait. And then this Johnny Depp one, I can't wait. I'm really happy that he's come back. Plus, Christmas Carol is one of my favorite stories in the world, so I like all iterations of it. Should Johnny Depp return to Disney in Pirates 6? Only if he gets 20% of the gross, $100 million. You bring the cast of the first Pirates back somehow, and I believe it would at least pop. It would if they would have released the 5th or 6th one they were going to do before the trial, it probably wouldn't have done well. They all make money, but it wouldn't have done well. But now it's a big triumphant return. I think it would pop. Maybe. And there's different management at Disney now. So Vault of Menegroth for $5 says, second super chat. Shad, I'm in SYD for work. I'm in Sydney for work, August 30th through September 6th. Any recommendations to do? Too bad you're 10 hours away. Would love for you to sign Shadow of the Conqueror. Shad's Mormon. He doesn't go out. He's going to tell you where you can get milk. That's about it. Larry Escher for $2. YouTube is cutting off the first 5 minutes of live feeds. Why? I have not heard that. Why? X-Ray Girl, have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard that at all.
Today's the day they're changing how they count views. And it's basically, it's going to start resembling impressions. We'll see how that goes. It's happened to you. Yeah, if that's something you guys are seeing, let me know. For the love of God, watch the Superman meets Supergirl SWFX video Chills, says Golden Nuggets for £5 British. That Shang-Chi movie should have been an Iron Fist movie, but they didn't do it, and we all know why. And it's not because of the awful Netflix series. First super chat. Had to jump in here after last week to clarify that the first law is not finished. Still, 11 out of 10 would recommend my favorite after Lord of the Rings. I have it. I went and downloaded it on Audible. I went on a little side quest because I'm kind of listening to a lot of stuff at night now. And I the Dresden, hang on. I'm choking. Hang on. The Dresden Files now have a graphic audio, so it's kind of a full cast reading. It's okay. I still like Spike reading them better. And then the Nine Princes of Amber, Roger Zelazny started going back to that too. That's a wild, crazy story. But yeah, I'll get around the first law next road trip. 99 IQ 1080p for $10. Shad, now that Supergirl ran its course, will you check out Birdie the Mighty, the best version, what an orphan superfoid could be? Bonus, Snyder reference, the building destruction for Man of Steel. Sponge Boy Me Bob for $5 says, by the way, get used to Ahsoka. The man's hyper fixation on her will be front and center from now on. Mark my words. I think this is crazy, but I think everything rides on Starfighter, the most mediocre of mid stuff you could possibly think of. And I Disney put a lot of money into franchises that they ruined, and you're not going to be able to fix Star Wars. So aside from the hardcore Star Wars fans who read the EU or watched Rebels, and I hate to put them in the same sentence, sorry, Ryan, but the hardcore Star Wars fans watched the Dave Filoni stuff, read the EU. The vast majority of Star Wars fans out there in the world, or what they see Star Wars, is the movies and only the movies. That's it. Not even the D+ shows. And it will be very hard to get away from the Skywalker family. And even if you go into the future, you'll have some familiar iconography, but like you're essentially starting a new franchise at that point. You might as well just start a new franchise. Listening to FNT while fishing the Boise River. That's an unbeatable evening. Hail FNT, and God bless y'all. That sounds awesome. Hope you caught something. All the way back in 2008, I knew Filoni was going to be a problem. I was worried one day when George Lucas said would hand Star Wars to him. Seems my fears were realized in a roundabout way. They were. Sponge Boy Me Bob. Thank you for the $10. Uzi Patrol. Marvel wants a Guardians repeat is why they keep bringing up obscure characters. Yeah, they can't have it though. Like James Gunn couldn't really even do a Guardians repeat. Graph Web for $2. For fuck's sake, cancel Disney Plus. What's on Disney Plus? What's there to get? Like any Marvel movie I would like, I have in physical media. I'm trying to think what's on Disney Plus. Nothing. The Wonder Man actor would have made a good Blade in a Blade streaming series, or Ned Flanders from it says Ned Flanders, X-Ray Girl from The Simpsons in Safety Blade movie. We need a Death's Head show More than Wonder Man. Death's Head. Chat. Where's Death's Head? What's it connected to? What is Death's Head connected to? Hang on a second. I got a Death's Head action figure. Oh, somebody in the chat's going to know. Come on. What is Death's Head connected to? It's another major franchise. Little crossover. Come on. Come on, chat. Death's Head. Right there. Marvel UK, you're getting close. Marvel UK. What's popular in the UK? There was a show that was pretty popular in the UK. Not so much anymore. There you go. There you go. Yes, but they have Death's Head is in some of the comics that Dave Gibbons, Dave Gibbons art in the Fourth Doctor. You can get it's from Doctor Who magazine. So if you want the reprints, I think Panini, the French company Panini Comics, does collections. Some of the best fucking art, like just beautiful comic book art. I've been looking for original art pages for those. Those are hard to find, but yeah, his Fourth Doctor shit is unbelievable. Let's see if I can find some. Hang on. Let's see here. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. What happened? What the fuck is going on? My sound is going out. My camera's going out. Where is a good example? I mean, you're not going to see Doctor Who, but let me just show you the art. Like, this is like for a Doctor Who comic, this is sick. Here we go. Can I zoom in? Probably not. What's going to be next? I hope it's not naked people. There we go. Art was so fucking good. There we go. Dude, he was at his peak with this stuff. It was so fucking good. There is a long lost oh boy, I don't know if I want to talk about this. Well, I already started X-Ray Girl, so I might as well talk about it. So there's an interview. So in 2013, the last year I went to Comic-Con, I wanted to do something different. Mind you, this was 2013, so I wanted to stream from Comic-Con and interview people. So I hired a host, Johnny Hell from Valencia Radio, great guy, and we were going to interview people. So we got Dave Gibbons, we got Derek Robertson, and many others. Dave McKeon, Jesus Christ. Dave McKeon, and the video's out there somewhere. Not really sure where it is, and maybe I'll show it. And we have these interviews with these guys at my booth, and they're fucking fantastic. The only problem is, the only drawback, everybody, is that was the year my relapse, like I was already relapsing before that. I was coked out of my fucking skull. So I'm not on camera much. And I haven't gone back and looked at it. And I don't want to. But it's out there. It's out there. And Dave Gibbons was a lovely guy. Oh, I had more than an 8-ball there. Yeah. So that's when I come home from that, and that's when the intervention happened. So it was when I got back from Comic-Con, and I mean, I laugh about it now, but I didn't sleep the whole way home. There was some, I can't even remember who she was. There was some on the way down. One of my friends, I think it's Derek, one of Derek's friends needed a ride to con, and I said yes. And that chick drove me insane. I almost fucking left her in the side of the fucking 5 freeway because she was a full-on feminist, and all I heard was this feminist yak coming from behind. So I kept turning up the radio so I didn't have to listen to her. And I almost kicked her out of the fucking car. Oh my God. Yeah, that was terrible. The whole thing was terrible. Whole thing was terrible. It'll pop on in a second. This episode brought to you by El Gato. The real Imagination for 20 Norwegian krona. I misread the title as Lanterns Gets Fingered. You know what? There's still time, brother. Southeastern Kaiju for $1.99. Austrian artist had superior classic training. Oh, Hitler? I mean, did Hunter Biden have classic training? I don't know. Gary, did you see that the New York Post article that it's racist to be on time? Ryan must be 15 minutes early to everything. Does that exist, X-Ray Girl? Wonder Man actor went from being reasonable to being the MCU version of Cyborg Ray Fisher. For real. Oh, by the way, how's Ray Fisher's career doing? How's that doing? Mike carrying all the intersectional burdens, Southeastern Kaiju. First time watching live. Gary, thanks for your book. Thank you, GH Mouse. Appreciate you. Andrew Bourne for $5. Gang, I volunteer to take one for the team and fix Grace. I think a lot of people would try to fix Grace. You know, when Grace gets her hair right, I'm happily married, so you tell me. Zooted says Buzz CJC for $2. GH Mouse has donated $1.99. Peter Puffer has donated $1. Chuck L. Fuck for $2 says, my sister's having a baby. I'm going to be a dad. Okay, Targaryen. Right on time, says Stillwater. Where Birdo? It's his birthday. Oh, is Beardo have a birthday in August too? See, August is the best month to have a birthday because there's no holidays at all. Yes, it's the dog days of summer, but there's no holidays. We don't have to compete with anything. Dad joke of the week. A Mexican magician said he would make himself disappear on the count of 3. He says, uno, dos, poof, gone, without a trace. M. Spencer for $5. William Shatner blocked me this week. Now I just need 1.3 million more YouTube subs, pin toys to the wall, and get out of prison to be awesome as Gary. No. You don't want to go to prison. And you know what? I will never fucking do this again. Like the pinning the toys to the wall thing. I will never do it again. It was such a pain in the ass. You guys remember, it took 2 years. It took 2 years. We are going to be changing the background a little bit. I don't want you to fear change or anything, but we're going to be putting some comic books up there. 40th trip around the world today and 28 months sober Sunday. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Schmuck Man for $5. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching the show. The show turned Jon Stewart into Riri Williams from the comic, from motivational origins of a villain to having an AI construct as a mentor. I don't want to not like Jon Stewart. I'm curious to see like what cultural footprint this show is going to have. And we won't know until the end of episode 8. But there are some people going, man, this is an amazing mystery. But a lot of what I saw across multiple platforms was, what the fuck was that? That was boring as shit. And the eccentricity of white privilege line that might be the worst line of the year in anything. F&T in chat, I would like to give a shout out to a YouTube channel of a father and son collecting comic books. Oh, that sounds awesome. Magnitude 10 Comics was started by a guy local to me, bought some comics from him at the Comic and Toy Show. So it's called Magnitude 10 Comic Books, father and son comic book channel. That's brilliant. That's wholesome. Phil Mitchell is sober for $5. Who looks more like the real Kevin Feige, Ozempic Feige or Jeremy? I'd say Jeremy. Not that he looks that much like Kevin Feige. I mean, the only traits they have is they wear baseball caps. But Jeremy's not bald. Undead Nerd, T800 for $5. Not only do we have to pay attention to the X-Men casting, but also how they gonna portray Iceman if Marvel is gonna change. Also, I'm a little bummed that this movie isn't about the original 5 X-Men. I was kind of hoping they would do that too. I was hoping we get Angel and Iceman. Like a straight Iceman. What the fuck is this? Nerd bingo? Yes. Sanderson has been slipping lately. Book 5 of Stormlight jumps the shark by making the autistic character interspecies, sexual, and gay, and then frames that as a good thing. Sanderson, why? In junior high, they took us to the Westport Playhouse to see The Miracle Worker starring that broad from Hill Street Blues. Yeah, that's my all of my knowledge from Helen Keller was from The Miracle Worker. And I watched it as a kid. So I don't know if they bring up the socialist shit in The Miracle Worker or not. But yeah, I just didn't pay attention to it. And then Ryan said she's fake. And then I watched a couple of videos. I'm like, oh, she was fucking communist propaganda. Wow. But it makes sense because I'm into ancient civilizations. And one of the things I'm into is giants. And there were a lot of reports of giants in the late 1800s and early 1900s, and even a little before that from all the mounds. But most of them were fake. And that was an era where they just fake shit. Snake oil salesmen, making chimeras. It wasn't called chimera, but there'd be like a mermaid or a fish man, and they would go to these traveling carnivals and charge you a nickel to see them. So it's of that era, and it was just fucking bullshit. I would say Giants are more real than Helen Keller was. Barnum and Bailey. Yep. The Jackalope. The Piltdown Man. Yesterday was the memorial service. Oh. Oof. Neo Black Straw for $10. Yesterday was the service for my son. He was only 22 when he took his life after a bad interaction with his meds. You guys have seriously helped me through a very bad time. Thanks for the laughs. I am so sorry, brother. Prayers. There has been a lot of talk. That is horrible. There's been a lot of talk about meds with this this broad who killed her kids. And then TikTok women are worshiping her. Somebody tried to bring up, I think they tried and they failed, but I kind of understand where they were coming from. It's like we need to have a conversation about the psychiatric meds, and yes, we do. Yes, Tom Cruise was called fucking crazy. Remember when Tom Cruise went off on psychiatric meds and everybody just called him crazy as fuck, and he was right about everything? I don't care if it comes from Scientology. I don't care where the motivation comes from. He was right. He was 100% right. Certainly some of these meds help people in extreme cases, but I think COVID should have made us understand that these companies are not out for our best interests, and they're out for profitability. And some of these are extremely dangerous. And there's people walking around and driving on these things that can greatly impair their judgment. And that's worrying. We went thousands of years of not having these meds. So, like I said, there's some that are necessary, but I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying they're overprescribed and they're abused. And we can thank the drug companies who make a lot of money. The same drug company that tried to convince everybody that oxycodone wasn't addictive, which is unbelievable. And thank you for being a monthly supporter. T8 Turhead for $1 says, I'm ready. What?
Taterhead.
Teeterhead. Thank you. I would have never gotten that. I'm ready for Taylor Sheridan to let Billy Bob and hot wife be killed by mobsters in Landman. Their son falls in a well full of boats, and we finally start getting Batman show we deserve. Dude, I love Landman. I was talking to Jeremy. I have a better, we're talking about maybe doing, because I think more people see it now. We could do a Landman segment when it comes out on FNT, but I might have a better idea. Maybe we just do a separate Landman stream. But either one will work. I'm fine. I fucking love that show. It's the best Taylor Sheridan show. It is. And it's mostly because Billy Bob is fucking great. Aquaman is a new member. Thank you, Aquaman. Hanzo Sword has been a member for 30 months. Gary, the fight scene with Spidey and the hand got me hyped for martial arts in the MCU, but I remembered Shang-Chi and Iron Fist, and now and know it can go wrong. Yeah, the fight scene is very cool. It is. But that's also from the same director who did Shang-Chi. And A. Dudley Buchanan has gifted 1 Nerdrotic Live membership. Thank you. Cheers. Disney can't do shit. And yeah, the hand is now like a K-pop band. That's a little bit of a problem. The Hand is a deadly, murderous organism. God, the way they set that up in Daredevil was so fucking badass. Even though the resolution in Defenders was fucking retarded. Like the Hand is run by a 72-year-old white woman. Get the fuck out of here. So the theories, going back to Lanterns, the theories of Grandma being the Manhunter, I think are probably correct. And this is where it's still being done. Remember Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and it's Shazam versus two old women. That's just not exciting. That's intersectional. Hollywood's intersectional feminism. So we always have to make the distinction between academic intersectional feminism and Hollywood intersectional feminism. Because as retarded as academia is, they explain it more. And there's more nuance to it. It's still stupid. But when you get to Hollywood, it's a dumbed down version of something that's dumb. So instead of having any complexity, it's devoid of complexity. So that's why so many female characters now are written as either planks of wood, nothing, or dudes, because you can't write them like women, because in Hollywood's eyes of intersectional feminism, making them have any feminine traits is sexist, because women can be just as good as men. Mind you, these are people who truly believe that one day a woman will be able to play in the NBA and compete, or the NFL. There is people who believe that. And they believe that because they have trans kids, and those trans kids will grow up, and some of them will be athletes, and they won't actually be women, but they believe they're women. You see where I'm going with this? So it's like a retarded version of something retarded. Hope that makes sense, but that's what it is. Oh no. Oh no. No. Okay. That's not a real picture. I was looking at the kids of Durin and Disa from Rings of Power. Yeah, the talk of lanterns is not going well. It is not going well online. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I left it on all last night, so that's probably not a good idea to do that. So it's probably overheating a bit. And that's because of the screen. Where I was looking for something. Yeah, bruh. Jon Stewart was unconscious, beaten, and tortured, and was still able to keep his construct alive without the ring for 24 hours. Jon has as much willpower as Hal, if not stronger in the show, and Hal kind of seems worried about it. Well, yeah, because this is replacement theory happening. Replacement theory manifest. And Verbal Riot responds, Jon Stewart is so much better than what old white man Hal Jordan. He doesn't even need a ring to make constructs, but that's actually from the comics. So people will go, it's from the comics. The thing is, it's from 2018. And again, we all remember what comics were like in 2018. I was looking for Grant Morrison's. Grant Morrison. Oh, hang on. I keep putting in Green Lanterns and it's lanterns. There it is. And he is being nice. Let's keep in mind he is being nice. If this is translated, details, Grant Morrison shared his impressions of the first episode of the series of Lanterns, praised Aaron Pierre's performance as Jon Stewart, stated that Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan is unrecognizable, but highlighted his excellent performances and charisma, criticized the glaring absence of uniforms and visual effects on the of the ring, questioned the production low budget, stating that a franchise should have the scope to compete with Star Wars and Star Trek. It's okay. This is Twitter, so I don't know if he even said that. I need to say that with everything. I don't know if he even said that, but it's very similar to what his response was to Damon Lindelof when he said that Lanterns was stupid, or saying the green part was stupid. Oh boy. They're doing variant covers. How exciting. You get to see comics of everybody in their street clothes. Oh, okay. That's what Nicholas Hoult is out. So, okay. Nicholas Hoult has dropped out of Harry Potter's season 2. That was quick. I wonder why. Is there an article on that, X-Ray Girl? Oh, here we go. Kit Harington joins Harry Potter season 2 as okay. He's reprising his voice role from the audiobook. Okay, that's not bad. He did a great job in the audiobook. So Kit Harington will play Gilderoy Lockhart. Man, he was one of the highlights of the audiobook. Game of Thrones star Kit Harington is joining another tentpole fantasy series for HBO. He will play Gilderoy Lockhart in season 2 of Harry Potter. Harington replaces Nicholas Hoult, who was originally cast in the role but left over scheduling issues, as they say in the UK. Issues. HBO had to work around 2 pre-existing Hoult projects when filming the Gilderoy Lockhart scenes had to shift within the season 2 production date schedule. There was no longer feasible, and the Superman actor was let out of his deal. HBO reached out to Harington, who was available and excited to take over the role. While this is a technically recasting, Harington will portray a character he has already played. He voiced Gilderoy Lockhart in the star-studded Harry Potter full cast audio editions, which are fucking fantastic. Brilliant. Utterly fantastic. In the feature released by Audible at the time, Harrington spoke to his fondness of Harry Potter books since his childhood. Could you scroll up a little bit, X-Ray Go? X-Ray Go. Thank you. He was the same age as Harry in the first novel when J.K. Rowling came out. I read it, and I like so many generations. I was entranced, and then I was a huge fan all through my teenage years while he was doing Game of Thrones too. All right. I think that's good. I actually think that's really good. I have no problem with that. Again, he did a great job. For those of you who have read the those of you who have listened. Sadly, though, okay, so the Harry Potter show is going to do really well. They misspelt Harrington. Uh-oh. The Harry Potter show is going to do very, very well. I think my prediction will be everything's fine except for Black Snape. The only worry I have is some of the women directors I've heard talking about adding new elements that don't need to be there. That's going to be a bit concerning. I also wonder what the tone is going to be. Like if it's going to be that dark, murky, that's one thing HBO needs to work out is their shit is shot so dark and murky. Like Lanterns is the same way too. But eventually it's going to become a huge problem. And Snape being I'll say a lot of people's favorite character. So it's going to be interesting, but that first season is going to be a monster. That first episode is going to break all the fucking records. And it comes out Christmas Day. Color is expensive. Okay. Rob Bonta is being a retard, and I'm here for it. Uh-oh, we're gonna get political again, guys, because we're talking about politicians. California Attorney General Rob Bonta has canceled planned settlement talks with Paramount, accusing the company of acting in bad faith. You're the one who canceled it, Rob Bonta, Attorney General. You're the one who canceled it. As soon as Paramount stops playing games and engages sincerely, my office is happy to meet again. Okay. Rob, you need Paramount more than they need you. And this is all performative prior to an election. This is literally wasting your tax money. Every time he does something, he's not working on something else. And this will guarantee Paramount leaves. It will just absolutely guarantee it. And this guy has become the biggest twat. So Paramount, just leave. Just leave. These states cannot win. They will not win. They will cost you about $1 billion, but they will not win. I would just say leave, and what you save in taxes from your move to fucking Texas will cover it. Unbelievable how stupid this guy is. And it's all because it doesn't have anything to do with CNN. That's a little part of it, but it has everything to do with a relationship to the administration, right? Whether you like that administration or not is immaterial. It shouldn't be stopping business. Oh, well. I'm glad Kata brought this up in for the Lantern show. He says Lanterns is so high IQ that our main character breaks off a mostly plastic piece of his car with a tire iron to walk through a metal detector when he could have just used the tire iron. Yes. Oh my God, is that real? Oh shit. Okay, this is real. Good Lord. So here are the kids of Disa and Durin from the Rings of Power. It's like Jamiroquai, and I don't like look at the nose on that girl. That's got to be prosthetic. Woo. It looks like a One Piece character. Oh, Lordy. Wow, that's going to be fun. A new look at Durin, Disa, and their children, Girda and Gamli. Not Gimli, Gamli. Get it? We reverse the I and the A. The Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power season 3. Or we replace the A with the E. Yeah. While Durin and Disa children have always been had a presence in the show, in season 3, audiences will finally meet their daughter, Girda, played by somebody, and son Gamli instead of Gimli, both of whom are now energetic teens. Do they have the swagger of a black teenager? I don't know. Scroll up a little bit, X-Ray Girl. Chat's blocking that. There we go. Over the 5-year gap since season 2, these two royal children have grown up in Khazad-dûm. Watch their parents lead the dwarves as a united front against the threat of Sauron's growing power. And though they might be young, the siblings find themselves playing a critical role in the growing unrest deep within the Mountain Kingdom. Season 3 coming up. What X-Ray Girl? We get 4 episodes, so we get half the season upon release. Garrett's going to suffer on that one. Oh. All right. Thank you for becoming a new member. We're going to wrap it up. Let's see if I can turn my camera on for a few minutes. Come on. Come on. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Nope. Let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. This episode is brought to you by El Gato, no signal. El Gato, no signal. Go back to the book. Go back to the book. El Gato is sick of you. I know. We might have delved too deep in a few places. $7 subscription needed. Oh boy. Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, the Harry Potter show and Rings of Power, like back to back, is gonna be rough. Yeah, Tolkien's family vision. You are correct there. All right, so I'll be back tomorrow on Az's channel for the real BBC with Mahler after his 400th episode anniversary, and it should be fun. I'm working on some stuff, and again, big announcement Friday Night Tights on Friday Night Tights about the next tour. So you all have a great day. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. We appreciate you all. Thank you all the lurkers. Thanks to everybody who participated. See you tomorrow.